5 homeless men have been murdered in this suburb in Pretoria since the beginning of June.
That guy who killing people, you just scared. If you sleep here, maybe he will come.
Some of us has actually taken up arms, like with knives and a baton or some piece of wood just to protect yourself.
This guy will come back again if we don't try and catch him.
While police have been silent on whether the string of murders is the work of a serial killer, they've dubbed the suspect the nocturnal prowler. Reports of a potential serial killer on the prowl in Pretoria first started making headlines in the middle of June. The 5 bodies were found at these locations in the suburb of Makelniek between the 1st and the 19th of June.
The first body, believed to be the first victim of the nocturnal prowler, was discovered here at the Mears Park train station on the 1st of June. Subsequently, 4 more bodies have been found in the vicinity of Makelniek. What we do know, speaking to some of the community here now, is that it has gone very quiet in the Magnolia Park as well as in Makelniek. It seems like homeless people are now trying to move out the area, opting to go towards the CBD instead, and that is where they're spending their evenings.
In the night you cannot sleep. You're sleeping in with one eye. Nobody wants to be in here because that guy who killing people, you just scared. If you sleep here, maybe he will come. You want to be where there is many people. So we running maybe like in afternoons, and then you go to another place like in town where you can get a place to hide.
We also know that the 4th body was found just mere kilometers away from the first 3 bodies. In fact, all 5 bodies seem to be within a 4-kilometer radius. We do know that this body was found in the early hours of the morning, and one can still observe the victim's blood on the ground.
It was really a bad sight to see. From what I could saw is that his head was a little bit open. The blood spillage was quite a lot on himself. When I checked the floor afterwards, it was like really quite a lot. I used to sit here in the mornings, share a cigarette with him. His nickname, what we all knew him as Roger. He was a real nice guy, quiet, always just walking around, doing his own little thing and just surviving.
After the discovery of the 5th body on June 19, a high-level task team was deployed to investigate the murders. Weeks have now passed since the 5th body was found. At the moment, this is what we know.
All the victims were killed in a similar area, that being Makelniek. They were all homeless, they were all middle-aged, and it also appears that they were all murdered in a very similar manner. So far, police have confirmed the victims were either stabbed or there were signs of blunt force trauma to the head, perhaps a variety of both types of wounds inflicted on them.
Despite the commonalities, there are some interesting anomalies in this case, says former police profiler Dr. Gerard Labaskachny. He's worked on 110 different murder serials during his 14.5-year tenure with the police.
What's a little bit different than normal is that most of our South African serial murderers are actually targeting females, typically black females who are in need of a job or need of a better job. And that person then lures them away, usually to a secluded piece of veld, where he then rapes and murders them, or sometimes just rapes them if it's a serial rapist. So we don't have that here. Now that doesn't mean it's less of a serial murder, it just means there's a different type of serial murderer. Homeless people are not a common victimology for our series that we've had previously in South Africa.
Labaskachny says it's uncommon to find so many bodies in such a short space of time.
We often would see weeks or even months go by in a series where there's no activity, and then the person's urges come back again.
He says the culprit is almost certainly male.
Violent crime in general is committed by males. Our prisons are filled with males. Female prisoners are a small minority. So I think it's yes. Is it impossible? No. But we should rather investigate things on what we typically see as to guide us than the hundreds of possibilities of what it could be, because then you just have such a wide scattered investigation.
In recent weeks, police arrested a man in connection with the attacks of 2 homeless men in February and May. He has not been linked to the spate of murders, which suddenly seems to have subsided. There could be many reasons for this, says Tshwane.
Reasons for going quiet can be multiple. Obviously, there's been lots of media attention. The homeless people have obviously been altering the way they sleep. I think they're trying to sleep in groups. There's moves to have them put into shelters, which of course can cause the person to realize that he may need to stop for a while. Unfortunately, it can also cause him to relocate to a different area, which means it might take some time before we realize that the suspect is operating there. Other possibilities when we see series normally stopping could be that the suspect was arrested for something unrelated and they are now moved out of circulation because of the arrest. They could be ill for some reason or injured for some reason.
The pause in the killings, however, doesn't mean that it won't happen again.
We shouldn't think this is over until you've caught the suspect or you know conclusively what happened to him, whether he passed away or something else. You must continue with the investigation, obviously, to bring justice for the victims, but to make sure that, because this guy will come back again if we don't try and catch him.
Life on the streets is hard enough as it is for the homeless people of Tshwane. This without the added fear of being murdered. How difficult is life on the streets?
Very, very, very difficult. Now it's coldness. I don't even have a blanket. I hide my blanket somewhere, but then when you come, like now, I'm here. When I get there, you find sometimes they steal it.
I don't feel safe because I don't know, like I said, I don't know who's going to be next. Currently what we've done is that we've partnered up. We are now like 2-2. We feel that if you are 2-2, like an army style kind of thing, is that one sleeps as well and the other one stays awake. You feel a little bit safer, and some of us has actually taken up arms, like with knives and a baton or some piece of wood just to protect yourself.
Police have managed to identify 3 of the 5 victims. However, they haven't made their names public yet due to the sensitivity of the case. Meanwhile, the task team is expected to cast a wide net in order to try and catch the nocturnal prowler.